We all face difficult times. Sometimes we witness injustice. We might even be victims of oppression. It can feel overwhelming, but we are not alone. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, offers guidance and hope. It teaches us how to stand up against oppression. This essay explores the Quran's message of resistance. It highlights the importance of hope in God. It emphasizes the power of unity in society. Most importantly, it reminds us that right always triumphs over wrong. Islam is a religion of peace. It promotes justice and equality. The Quran condemns all forms of oppression. Tyranny has no place in Islam. The Quran calls on all Muslims to fight against injustice. We must resist oppression in all its forms. This includes speaking out against discrimination. It means defending the rights of the marginalized. It requires us to challenge systems that perpetuate inequality. The Quran reminds us that silence is not an option when faced with oppression. When facing hardship, it's easy to lose hope. But the Quran urges us to remain steadfast in our faith. Allah, the most merciful, is always with us. He sees our struggles and hears our prayers. Quran 3:139 reminds us, "Be not then faint of heart, and grieve not, for you are bound to rise high if you are truly believers." This verse teaches us that faith in Allah is a source of strength. Even in the darkest of times, we must never give up hope. Allah's help is always near. Section 4. Patience, a form of worship. The path to justice is rarely easy. It requires patience and perseverance. The Quran emphasizes that patience is not passive resignation. It is an active form of worship. It means remaining steadfast in our commitment to justice, even when faced with challenges. Quran 2:153 advises, "O you who believe, seek help through patience and prayers. God is with the steadfast." This verse teaches us the importance of sabr, the Arabic word for patience. Through patience we draw closer to Allah. We become stronger in our resolve. Section 5. Resistance and act of faith. The Quran does not advocate for passive acceptance of injustice. It is a powerful text that calls for action, urging believers to stand up against any form of oppression. This is not just a suggestion but a moral imperative, a duty that every believer must uphold. It calls on believers to actively resist oppression. This resistance is not limited to any one form. It is a multifaceted approach that can be adapted to various situations and contexts. Whether it is through peaceful protests, legal battles, or community organizing, the essence remains the same: to fight against injustice. This resistance can take many forms. It can be as visible as a mass protest or as subtle as a quiet act of defiance. The important thing is the intention and the commitment to stand against what is wrong. It can be speaking truth to power. This means having the courage to confront those in authority, to challenge their actions and decisions when they are unjust. It is about being a voice for the voiceless, standing up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. It can be working to change unjust laws. Legal reforms are a crucial aspect of resistance. By changing the laws that perpetuate injustice, we can create a more just and equitable society. This involves not just lawyers and activists, but every individual who believes in justice. It can be simply standing up for what is right, even when it's difficult. Sometimes resistance is a solitary act, a single person standing against a tide of injustice. These acts, though small, are significant. They inspire others and create ripples of change. Quran 9:71 states, "The believers, both men and women, support each other. They order what is right and forbid what is wrong." This verse is a call to collective action, emphasizing that resistance is not just an individual effort but a communal one. This verse emphasizes the importance of collective action. It reminds us that we are stronger together, that our combined efforts can bring about significant change. When we unite for a common cause, we amplify our voices and our impact. We must stand together against oppression. Our unity is our strength. By standing together, we show that we will not be divided by fear or hatred. We demonstrate that our commitment to justice transcends our differences. We must support one another in our fight for justice. This support can take many forms, from offering a listening ear to providing practical assistance. It is about being there for each other, showing solidarity, and working together towards a common goal. In this way, we can create a world where justice and equality prevail. Section 6. Lessons from the past, the story of Moses. The Quran is filled with stories of prophets who faced oppression. These stories are not just historical accounts, they are timeless lessons that resonate with us even today. They remind us of the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us. These stories offer valuable lessons for us today. They teach us about resilience, faith, and the power of standing up against injustice. They show us that no matter how dire the situation, there is always hope and a path to redemption. One such story is that of Prophet Musa, or Moses. Moses is a central figure in many religious traditions, revered for his unwavering faith and leadership. His story is one of courage, determination, and divine intervention. Moses confronted the tyranny of Pharaoh. Pharaoh was a powerful ruler who oppressed the Israelites, subjecting them to harsh conditions and forced labor. Moses, chosen by Allah, was sent to liberate his people from this cruel bondage. He stood up for the Israelites who were enslaved. Despite the overwhelming odds, Moses did not waver. He approached Pharaoh multiple times, demanding the release of his people. Each time, Pharaoh's heart hardened, leading to a series of divine signs and plagues. Despite facing immense challenges, Moses never lost faith in Allah. His faith was his guiding light, providing him with the strength to continue his mission. He prayed fervently, seeking guidance and support from Allah. He persevered with patience and courage. Leading the Israelites out of Egypt was no easy task. They faced numerous obstacles, including the daunting journey through the desert. Yet Moses remained steadfast, encouraging his people to trust in Allah's plan. Ultimately, Allah granted him victory over Pharaoh. The parting of the Red Sea is one of the most dramatic moments in Moses' story. It symbolizes the triumph of faith over tyranny, and the miraculous power of divine intervention. This story teaches us that even the most powerful oppressors can be defeated. It is a testament to the power of faith, resilience, and the human spirit. It reminds us that no matter how insurmountable the challenges may seem, with faith and determination, we can overcome them. With faith in Allah, we can overcome any obstacle. The story of Moses is a beacon of hope, inspiring us to stand up against injustice, to remain steadfast in our faith, and to trust in the divine plan. It is a timeless lesson that continues to inspire and guide us in our own lives. Section 7. Our role today, standing up for justice. In a world that often feels divided and tumultuous, the call to stand up for justice is more pressing than ever. The principles of justice, fairness, and equality are not just lofty ideals, but essential components of a harmonious society. The Quran's message is timeless. It transcends eras and cultures, offering guidance that remains relevant regardless of the age we live in. The teachings within its pages are a beacon of light, guiding us through the complexities of modern life. Its teachings on oppression are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. The Quran speaks to the human condition, addressing the struggles and injustices that have plagued humanity throughout history. It calls on us to recognize and combat oppression in all its forms. We live in a world where injustice still exists. Despite the progress we've made, there are still glaring disparities and inequities that need to be addressed. From economic inequality to social discrimination, the fight for justice is far from over. We witness discrimination, poverty, and violence. These issues are not confined to distant lands, they are present in our own communities. The images of suffering and hardship are a stark reminder of the work that still needs to be done. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of these problems. The sheer magnitude of global issues can make us feel powerless and insignificant. But it's important to remember that change often starts with small, individual actions. But we must remember that each of us has a role to play. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger movement for justice. Whether it's standing up to a bully, volunteering at a local shelter, or simply educating ourselves and others, we all have the power to make a difference. We can start by challenging injustice in our own communities. This means speaking out against unfair practices, supporting marginalized groups, and fostering an environment of inclusivity and respect. Grassroots efforts can lead to significant change when we come together with a common purpose. We can support organizations fighting for social justice. There are countless groups dedicated to addressing various forms of injustice, from racial discrimination to economic inequality. By lending our support, whether through donations, volunteering, or advocacy, we can amplify their impact. We can raise awareness about oppression and advocate for change. Social media has become a powerful tool for activism, allowing us to reach a global audience and mobilize support for important causes. By sharing information, participating in campaigns, and using our voices, we can drive the conversation forward. Most importantly, we must never lose hope. Hope is the fuel that drives us to continue fighting, even when the odds seem insurmountable. It is the belief that a better world is possible, and that our efforts, no matter how small, are meaningful. By embracing the Quran's message of hope, patience, and resistance, we can create a more just and equitable world. The journey towards justice is long and challenging, but with perseverance and faith, we can make a lasting impact. Together, we can build a future where everyone is treated with dignity and respect.